What are 3 ways you can take part in missions?
Go, pray, and give.
Yes, you can go, you can pray, and you can give. Yes, Jesus said we should go into the world and preach the gospel to all creature. Okay? Yes, that is missions. So our job is to go into the world and share this faith with everybody we meet. The last time we started a story about a young man who lived, and his name was
Hudson Taylor.
Hudson Taylor. Yes, what happened to Hudson Taylor?
He wanted to tell others about God.
Okay, he wanted to tell others about God.
Yes.
Okay, and what else?
He want others to learn about Bible.
Okay, so we also learned that he got a job with a doctor. Okay, yeah. All right. Yes, sometimes Hudson will learn that sometimes he was in danger in the city. Rough men laughed at him, pushed him around, tore up his tracts, and even threw things at him. Yet he was not afraid. He was learning to trust God to protect him. In China too, he would have to trust God to keep him from danger. God also wants me to learn to live without certain things, Hudson thought, and he wants me to share what I have with others. He ate simple meals. Every penny he saved, he gave to the poor. But God wanted him to learn to do without what he wanted most. So Hudson knew a pretty music teacher who believed in Jesus. He loved her deeply and believed she loved him too. Often he talked to her about China. He explained that God wanted him to be a missionary to that country. He thought, she is just the young woman to be my wife and go with me to China. One day, he asked her parents if he could marry her. Yes, they answered, but only if you do not go to China. The young woman agreed with her parents. Hudson was sad. What should I do? He wondered. What should Hudson do? Should he go ahead and marry her?
No.
He shouldn't marry her.
Because he said the wife will not go to China.
Okay. All right. Hudson made up his mind. I cannot disobey God when millions of Chinese still do not know the only way to God. How can I stay in England? God must want me to give her up. Hudson did, and he learned to trust God with that too. Yet, before I go to China, I must learn to trust God with everything, thought Hudson. Dr. Hardy helped Hudson trust God because he was forgetful. Dr. Hardy was forgetful. So what does it mean to be forgetful?
Forget the things. Sometimes in your parents.
Okay.
That sometimes if you forget your shoe or your
What happened to?
or your cardigan in school. And they ask you where's your water bottle and your cardigan. You say I don't know, and they'll flog you.
Okay. All right. So what does it mean? Thank you very much. All right. So Dr. Hardy was forgetful. Sometimes he forgot to pay Hudson. Remind me when it's It is time for your salary, he said. But Hudson didn't want to do that. He made up his mind to pray and trust God to remind the doctor to pay him. One day, it was time for the doctor to pay him, and all Hudson had left in his pocket was a half-crown. A half-crown is worth about 60 cents. She is dying! So, right then, a poor man came to Hudson. "Will you come and pray for my wife?" he asked. "She is dying." Hudson went with the man to the dirty little room where his family lived. Hudson knelt by the sick woman and prayed. As he prayed, he remembered the half-crown in his pocket. How could he pray and ask God to help these people if he was not willing to help? His wife was sick, they were poor, and the man just called him, "Come and pray for my wife." But he felt he couldn't just pray and go with the money, the last money he had in his pocket. He didn't want to go with it. Hudson pulled out his last coin. "Here," he said to the man. Hudson was happy as he walked back to his room. He asked the Lord to send him money to buy his lunch the next day. How would God do it? He had already given his last coin to this man. Morning came. The postman arrived with a letter addressed to Hudson Taylor. Who is a postman? A postman is someone who takes letter from the post office to deliver the letters to the addresses written on them. Okay, so in those days there were no phones, no
phone, no early money died.
No emails. So people send messages through letters. You write the letter and write the address of the person,
Then send it.
and send it through the post office. So the postman is the man who will take the letter to the person you have written it to. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So Hudson did not recognize the handwriting. He opened the envelope. What do you think was inside? What do you think was inside the envelope as he was opening it?
There was money inside.
Okay, there was money inside?
Yes.
All right, so let's see. Inside, he found a blank sheet of paper with a pair of gloves in it. You know what gloves are?
No.
Gloves?
No.
You wear on your hands?
Yes.
Okay.
Hand glue.
Hand gloves, yes.
The one that me and Emily have.
Okay, yes.
That I used to look for it.
Okay, so inside he found a blank sheet of paper with a pair of gloves in it, and out of the gloves fell a half sovereign. A half sovereign is worth about $2.50. That's about 4 days' pay. $2.50. That's a lot of money if you change it to naira. If a dollar is about 1,500, or let's say if a dollar is 1,000 naira, so $2 is 2,000 naira. The Lord has given me back 4 times as much as I gave away. He was so excited that God chose to answer yes to his prayer. Hudson praised God for the gloves, the money, and the person who gave them. Remember, previously,